The first 9 of the 10 commandments are about actions, either commanding us to do things, such as keeping Sabbath and honoring our elders, or commanding us not to do certain things. Don't murder, don't steal, don't make any idols, and so forth. The 10th and final commandment stands alone in commanding us not even to think a certain way. Hello, I'm Stuart Baskin, pastor of First Presbyterian Church of Tyler, Texas. And this is your daily devotional for Saturday, November 30th, 2024. The last of the 10 commandments is a bit longer than the ones immediately before it, and it is stated in a little different order in Exodus and Deuteronomy, but I won't dwell on that difference. In Exodus, the commandment is, "You shall not covet your neighbor's house, you shall not covet your neighbor's wife, or male or female slave, or ox or donkey, or anything else that belongs to your neighbor." The difference in Deuteronomy is that it reverses the order of your neighbor's house and your neighbor's wife, but the meaning is really the same either way. And let us simply agree that in the ancient world, where a man's wife was part of it, what could be called his property, it's not the way the world works today, and for good reason. Women are no one's property. I could focus on that issue, but I think I prefer to give that topic fuller treatment another time. And so with that issue set aside for the time being, let's talk about what it means to covet. The word translated covet here can and is translated in different ways in different contexts. Sometimes it is clear that the word has a very positive connotation in the Old Testament, while other times, such as this commandment, it is clearly something wrong. The word itself has the basic meaning, desire. There are plenty of passages in the Old Testament that use the term desire in very positive ways. For example, Psalm 19 speaks of the law itself, ironically enough, as something more to be desired than gold, even much fine gold. But more often, desire has the connotation of lust, of wrongful desire. So, what is it about desire or covetousness that is so wrong that even the impulse to desire what someone else has is forbidden in the 10 Commandments themselves? Well, in the first place, the ancient Hebrews understood very well that evil acts begin as evil thoughts, which then develop into evil intentions. Without some way to restrain one's actions, desire for what someone else has can turn in a variety of directions, none of which are particularly good. Theft and kidnapping come quickly to mind. But even if someone doesn't act that rashly, then covetousness can turn to jealousy, which inevitably turns neighbors against one another. Think of it this way. If I covet what you have, lust after your good fortune, I can begin to resent you. And once I begin to resent you, I begin to treat you differently. You would soon notice my behavior, and you'd soon figure out that I want what you have. And you'd begin to avoid me, so that I would have no opportunity to take what you have. But wait a minute, you say. If I want what you have, what's wrong with simply going out and purchasing the same thing for myself? That's actually an insightful question on your part, for which there actually is an answer. The economy in the ancient world, including Israel, worked differently from our modern market economy. We often don't realize it, but the modern idea of a market economy is a relatively recent invention in human history. In a market economy, the amount of wealth can and does increase, meaning there is more to go around. But in the ancient world, wealth was understood to be static. There was only so much to go around. In many cases, I couldn't just go out and buy what you have. If you had more than I do, there wasn't much I could do about it, except conspire to steal it. So you can see, covetousness was a real threat to life and community. And a community like Israel, called to be a holy community, needed to resist at all cost those things that tended to break the bonds of community. Well, we've been through the 10 Commandments, and I hope you see them in a somewhat different light. They are still important, because if nothing else, they form the basis of life in human community. But for now, May God continue to bless you and keep you in all that you do this day and in all the days ahead.